Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is another Come Cook With Me, and we're making some chicken. I did this kind of chicken stew with the white rice, sauteed spinach, and then a little bit of cucumber with my meal. So let's get right into the ingredients. So first, I'm going to take a medium-sized onion. I'm going to cut that in half. I already pre-chopped some scallions on the side, and so I'm just going to give this onion a rough chop. I'm not going to dice it. I'm going to cut it more julienne, so long or horizontal, whatever you want to call it. I'm just peeling the skin off, and then I'm going to cut that up and move on to my next ingredient. Typically on a regular day, I'm not always making, a special kind of meal. I just typically see what's in my fridge, what do I have in my house, and what can I make right now. And so this is what I typically do. I don't get up and be like, oh, I'm gonna make some fancy schmancy meal. No, whatever's in my house is what I make. I use the ingredients in my home and try to make a nice simplistic meal. So again, just chopping up these onions. Now I'm chopping up the garlic. I used about 2 to 3 cloves. And I don't have a recipe for this video because it's just a come cook with me, y'all. So come cook this chicken and eat it. I hope you enjoy it and love it. So again, rough chopping some garlic cloves, about 3 to 4 garlic cloves I would say I used. Scallions, about 2 scallions were chopped up, and then some onions. Drizzling a little bit of olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. Avocado is really, really great. Grapeseed oil is also really, really good. But again, I had olive oil in my house, so that's what I'm using. My fire is on medium-high heat because I want the oil to really heat up. And I'm adding the scallions in first to just get that sauteed and to get that nice flavor into the pot. So now I'm adding in the onions, and I'm just going to saute that for a few minutes until they all break apart and they begin to get a little bit of crispiness, a little bit of burntness in the pot. Then I'm going to add in the garlic cloves. I didn't add the garlic in first because the pan was so hot. If I added them, they would have immediately burned. I didn't really want that, so I added in third. Now that the pot has kind of got acclimatized to other things being in there, sauteing that up for a few minutes. Like I said, y'all, we're making chicken today, okay? So we are solely using chicken drumsticks. You can definitely use chicken thighs. Whatever part of the chicken you like, use it. Just understand that the cooking time is going to be different depending on what chicken part you use. So if you're cooking chicken breast, it won't take as long as chicken leg. It won't take as long as chicken thighs. Just understand the cooking times will have to change depending on what part of the chicken you want to eat. So I'm putting it right on top of the garlic and the onions because I really want it to infuse. So after I placed my chicken in the pot, I'm now going to just season. Again, I'm not going to go through each seasoning. You'll see it in the video. But I just use an array of different dry seasonings in my food. And I lightly coat the chicken with them because I don't want to overpower. And since I'm using a few, I don't want one to be stronger than the other. I want a nice harmonic taste at the end of the day so that my food can taste really good. But you see my signature seasonings that I always use. I had the all-purpose in there. I tried some meat and poultry seasoning. You'll see another one which is really interesting. It's called Jerusalem. It was one that I picked up from the supermarket. I wanted to try it on my food for the very first time, and it actually tastes really great. Not only did I use dry seasoning, but I also used wet. So I had my Italian grill in there. I used a brisket sauce, and then I also used other seasonings as well to flavor the food. Again, a little goes a long way. Don't throw the whole entire bucket in there. Just, it's enough to add in flavor. Of course, you can stick to your salt and pepper, but I wouldn't see why you would want to, because there are just so many other great seasonings out there that you can use besides salt and pepper. But if that's what you like, my sister, then that's what you like. Go ahead and just douse that baby with some salt and pepper. So I'm adding some water here because my gravy has been made in the pot and the seasoning is good. So now I want my chicken to steam. I'm adding in some browning. So for those of you who don't know what browning is a seasoning that gives your meat color, okay? It doesn't have a taste. It's not going to change the flavoring of your food in any way. It's just going to give your food color. So you see how the chicken is very white. There's no color on it. If you're cooking it over the stove, cooking it in the oven or whatever it is, you can add browning and it will give your chicken color. It will make it darker in color. You don't want to add too much because it can make your chicken black, and that's not what you want. You want your chicken just to have some color in there. But it's not going to, change the flavor of your gravy to something terrible. It's just going to make sure that everything has color to it. In Caribbean households, browning is something that we use often. If you heard of brown stewed chicken, again, browning just adds color to the meat that you're cooking and makes it look nice and dark, not black, just nice and dark. And then, of course, I'm just mixing this around, making sure that all the meat is being well coated with the gravy. And then I'm just tasting before I cover the pot so that if I need to add anything else, I will. And if I don't, I won't. I don't need to add anything. I'm pretty much good. I'm going to cover it up. But this is the point where you want to double check because you're going to cover the pot at this moment and leave it to steam so the chickens can cook. Now we're moving on to the sauteed spinach. So while my chicken is cooking, I'm going to then peel a couple of garlic cloves, about 3 to 4. This is up to you how many you want. You can do 1, 2, 10. I don't care. But I'm peeling about 4, I believe. And I'm not mincing them. I'm going to keep them whole. And then I'm going to chop up some scallions again. I used about 2 scallions, chop them up, and I'm going to then go to my fake wok, as I call it, because it has the shape of a wok, but it's not really a wok. And I'm going to saute the scallions for a couple of minutes, about 1 to 2 minutes, honestly, until they become like this, nice and brown and nice and burnt. I'm then going to add in my spinach, and I used about half of a pack. Honestly, if you really want a lot of spinach, you have to buy at least 2 to 3 packs of these, because once you apply the spinach to the pot, when it begins to wilt, it comes down to basically nothing. So I often find out that if you really want a lot, you got to get about 2 to 3 packs just for it to be a good serving for yourself. Of course, as this begins to cook, this becomes like nothing. I already added in my garlic as well. I did that off camera. You don't see it in the video. The garlic is in there. And then on top, I just sprinkle I squeeze half of lemon on top just to add some robustness and freshness to the spinach. You could definitely add salt. I love to add red pepper as well, and that's pretty much good for me. But you can put salt in here, whatever else that you like. Checking back on my chicken, I'm just adding a few finishing touches. Again, adding my yogurt in there for digestion purposes. And then I'm also going to add in this Stubbs chicken, and I think it's called a chicken marinade. It's like citrus and onion. I love adding this towards the end because it adds a hitness, just freshness to the meat. And now the chicken is basically finished. So as you can see, my chicken legs are literally falling off of the bone, and that's what I want. I hate to see a stiff chicken when I go to the restaurant and the chicken leg tough. No, it needs to be falling off the bone, very, very tender. The gravy is pretty much there. I mean, it's pretty much dissolved and reduced down to the amount that I want it, and I'm ready to serve my beautiful chicken legs with white rice. I'm just removing the bay leaves because nobody wants to eat that, and we'll get ready to serve this bad boy. And here you have it, guys. Here is the finishing touch. We have our chicken legs, our sauteed spinach with some white rice, and then I added some cucumbers because I just wanted that to add to my meal. So this is my come cook with me, a regular day at home, nothing special, just using what I have in my kitchen to make a nice, delicious meal. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay up to date with everything that's happening on this channel. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks, guys, so much for watching.